Sponsored by EA.
If you desire, you can become one of our bunch.
Hey everyone, it's AlluringSimmer here, and if you're new here, welcome to Planet Allura, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. As you may have noticed, there was no wheel spin for today's Create Sim because we are making our last fairy for our Let's Make the Winx series. Aww. Before we get into today's video, I just want to share that I am part of the EA Creator Program, and you can use my code AlluringSimmer when purchasing Sims 4 DLC, or visit my website at AlluringSimmer.com/creator to see other eligible EA titles that you can use my code AlluringSimmer for when making purchases on the EA app. And if you didn't already know, I have a Sims challenge that you can participate in. Whether you like create a sim or build and buy, there is something for you. I currently have the hashtag Alluring Fairy Shell, where you can download my shell on the gallery. My gallery ID is AlluringSimmer, and make any fairy themed build. Or you can use the hashtag Alluring Fairy CAS and upload a fairy sim you've created. I may choose your sim to add to the world during my Winx Let's Play or your fairy themed builds, so consider to participate and maybe you'll see your creations in my game. And as we get into the cast, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out all the previous videos in this cast series. I will have a link to the Let's Make a Winx series in the description as well as up on the screen, so that way you can check it out. But don't worry, I still have one more bedroom build to make because we have to make Bloom's room, and there will be lots more Winx fairy content coming soon. I'm planning to do a Let's Play with these girlies, and I've decided, based off of the comments that you all have been making, I will be taking all of their rooms and creating like a mansion villa type build, so expect to see that speed build coming within the next week. I'm also planning to create all of their boyfriends in a collective speed create a sim, where I'll most likely just show off like their everyday looks and then their specialist outfits, and then I'm thinking about making the guys spellcasters, so that way they can use wands and gain other abilities to do magic, so it can be a kind of a combined Realm of Magic Enchanted by Nature playthrough. And if you didn't already know, I am going to have early access to the new pack very soon, so stay tuned for all of the magical content using the new Enchanted by Nature pack. If you are interested in the new pack, then be sure to follow my Twitch and stay tuned to find out how to enter the giveaway courtesy of EA for one PC/Mac copy of the new pack. The giveaway will most likely take place on July 10th, 2025, so keep an eye on my other socials to be notified when I go live. And if you're planning on pre-ordering or purchasing the new pack, then consider to use my code AlluringSimmer when doing so. So let's talk about Bloom. Bloom is the fairy of the dragon flame, and she is one of the founding members of the Winx Club. She's also seen as a leader of the group and is one of the most featured members in the Winx Club. Bloom's birthday is December 10th, and her astrological sign is a dragon. Speaking of astrological signs, if you can all maybe think of a way that I can represent each of their signs, then comment down below how I should do it. I was thinking either adding an additional trait or a like or dislike or something in their room that showcases what their astrological signs are. But if you have a better suggestion, then again, comment down below and let me know. And to continue with Bloom's likes and dislikes, her favorite food is pizza and her favorite color is red. She loves reading books about fairy tales and magic, and her favorite pet is her pet bunny, Kiko. Her ideal boyfriend is her boyfriend, Sky, who is a swordsman and a royal. Her best friend out of the group is Stella, and she loves watching romantic comedies and cooking cupcakes for her friends. She hates tidying her room, so expect when you see her bedroom build for it to be a little bit messier than the other girls. She loves pop music and studying about potions, and her favorite type of shoes are comfortable but stylish, and I tried to keep that in mind when creating her looks here. And last but not least, her favorite spell is Dragon Flame. So a little bit more about Bloom's personality. She starts off as a girl who's a little bit more insecure until she starts to like learn more about how her powers came to be, and she starts to become a little bit more confident in herself. Bloom is the type of person that will run away when things get a little bit too difficult or confusing and she doesn't quite know how to handle it. She's also the type of girl who's a bit more impatient and stubborn, and she also has a short temper, which is why I gave her the hot-headed trait. Unfortunately, because of her short temper, she can also be a bit more impulsive at times, which sometimes causes a bit bit of negative experiences for her and the other girls. And similarly to Stella, she can sometimes also be a bit more self-centered and mainly focused on how things are going to affect her rather than the other girls. But despite some of these negative traits, similarly to the other girls, she still has a heart of gold. She's very caring, she cares about her friends, and wants to make sure that everyone is doing good, even if she makes mistakes. So now that we've created all of the girls for this series, something that I'm going to keep in mind when starting this Let's Play is their relationships with the other girls from the group. In the previous videos, I've shared like who their best friends are within the group, so their friendship levels and stuff will probably reflect that. I feel like as we play, obviously eventually all of their friendships will grow with each other, or maybe not if they get into arguments and stuff like that, but I do want to start off with their relationships already reflecting like how it is on the show. Something, however, that I do want to preface before I get into the Let's Play, obviously we still have the build to do for Bloom, but once that's done, we're going to start pushing forward to get this Let's Play out there. And one thing that I want y'all to keep in mind is I am going to keep their personality and their traits in mind when doing the Let's Play, but it is not going to be a one-to-one recreation of the show. This means that despite the fact that I want to start off their relationships and stuff kind of where it's at with the show, I will potentially make some changes based on what I want to do with this Let's Play. For example, there is some lore with Aisha and her partner. I'm not going to spoil it in case, you may want to watch the show. I know that the show has been out for a long time, but if you don't know the lore, basically there are some things that I may change because I want it to happen a certain way for the Let's Play, even if it's not completely lore accurate. I think when it came to creating the girls, I did want to keep them as accurate as possible in terms of like their style, their traits, also because it helps me to make sure that all of their personalities are unique to them and that I don't end up giving them all like similar personalities. I do think using their personalities from the show helps for me to determine like how to make each of the characters or each of the sims stand out. Something else to keep in mind is something that I didn't show in these creative sims, but I have done at this point off stream, is I've went in and added all their turn-ons, turn-offs, things that they like and dislike about other sims to kind of add more to their character, and that will also play into, their attraction to other sims, for example. I'm going to try my best to match up what I gave them in terms of what they like to see in other sims when I create their boyfriends to have them have those traits that would match up, if that makes sense. And I'm honestly super excited for this Let's Play to get started. I'm still debating like how I want the move-in type of vibe to be, like in terms of do I want to have all their boyfriends living with them. I think the easiest way to do it, and what I will most likely end up doing, is have all the girls live together. Maybe they'll have pets, potentially some of them, because I know some of them have like favorite animals, and if they can't have the pet on the lot because we have too many sims, maybe I'll make a household where we can keep animals that belong to them, if that makes sense. One fun thing about the fact that each of their pets are unique, I don't know if any of them have like traditional pets, except for I think Aisha likes horses. So we may potentially adopt a horse. However, for example, like Bloom has a pet bunny. There is a way for us to have bunnies that don't necessarily have to be part of the household, which means it won't add to the current household size. I'm still not really sure about where we're at with the whole like for rent bug, because something that I would love to do is like a residential rental where like we could have them live in their little mansion together and then still have their partners on the same lot but in their own space. If we get like a fix for that issue and know for sure that like there won't be any issues with the saves, then I might consider doing that. But I think for right now I'll probably just build one space for the girls, one space for the guys, and then the girls can have like their pets with them. But that's enough about the build aspect of it, because we can discuss that more when we work on Bloom's bedroom build. As for her outfits, it was really fun creating her looks. I really like her color palette. I know all of them each have like their unique colors that they wear. I don't know, the teal and like the light blues on Bloom look really cute with her like reddish orange hair. The one part that was really difficult was finding a shirt that worked and kind of matched her original vibe. The one that I settled on I think is cute, but one thing that I do want to see if I can find, and maybe we'll get some with the new pack, I haven't really seen anything too much about it yet. I want to see if I can add more sparkles to all of their looks, because in the show a lot of their like fairy looks have glitter and a lot of sparkles and stuff like that. And a lot of the looks that I gave them with this, because of the CC that I already had in my game, don't necessarily have a lot of like sparkles to them. And then the other issue was there are some things that are sparkly. However, I would end up having to give each of them the exact same outfit because those are the only things that I have with that material. But again, I am still super happy with how each of these girls turned out. I think they all look adorable. And once we have our hands on the Enchanted by Nature pack, I will go in and make them proper fairies, and we'll have to create like their fairy look and then their regular human look similar to the other occults. Now with that, what's kind of nice is that it means we can have a lot more outfits, which is super exciting. I don't really know too much about how the CAS is fully going to work. Like if they're in their fairy form, are they always going to have their wings, or can I set them to have wings with some of their looks and some of them they don't? I'm going to assume that in their fairy form they will always be wearing their wings, which means I'm going to figure out some other looks that I can do for that form, so that way we can differentiate their human form and their fairy form. But one thing that's really fun and special about the Winx Club is, despite, you know, some of them having more of a passion for their style and creating new looks, I feel like all of them have like their own unique way of dressing up, and they all have a very good sense of style. And because of that, that means they all have a lot of different looks that they wear throughout the show. I want to try and recreate more of the looks when I create their other outfits for the actual Let's Play itself. And I also want to just come up with looks based off how I know they dress in the show and how I think they would dress based off of their style. And that is pretty much it for today's video and the last video for our Let's Make the Wig series. Thank you so much for coming along with me for this Create a Sim series. It has been so much fun, and I hope that you all enjoyed it as much as I did creating all these looks for the Winx fairies. And if you have enjoyed it so far, again, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what your favorite look was for Miss Bloom. And stay tuned for Wednesday's video where we put together her bedroom for the final build for the Let's Move In the Winx series. Don't forget to stay tuned until the end so you can see screenshots of some of her final looks, as well as a group shot of all of the girlies that we've made for this series. Again, thank you so much for watching. By the time you see the bedroom build, I will have already had access to the Enchanted by Nature pack. Thank you again for all the support. I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.
If you desire, you can become one of our bunch. Winx, if your hand is warm in mine, it'll give us greater power. With a feeling we'll be sure fire winners. Winx, with a smile you can enchant and lighten up our world. With a feeling we can take flight. Watch us. If you desire, you can become one of our bunch. With a magic ray, the sky is all blazing. An adventure is certain to start.